Fantastic battles wrote most of the story last time out in Road America. Dustin Montgomery fought tooth and nail with Adrian Schumacher and teammate Tyler Justice en route to his second victory of the season. Tonight, we get back to the bread and butter of oval racing here in the States. The mile and a half of Kansas Speedway is on the docket for this evening. I am Emerson Arden, and I have my good friend and colleague Reese Schaefer alongside myself in the virtual booth this evening, and we're excited to be bringing you live coverage of the Speed Racing Network Z Grill Series here on the iRacing.com motorsport simulations platform. Reese, we're here in virtual Kansas City, Kansas, and we've seen this show once before. A tire-dependent mile-and-a-half racetrack, akin to the action we saw in Las Vegas 2 weeks ago, where we saw very close-quartered racing action up until green flag pit stops, which drastically changed the flow of the race.
Yeah, Emerson, this one is going to be a very tough track for drivers. You know, all three lanes are going to be used tonight, and that tire wear is going to be extremely dependent. We're going to see a lot of guys trying to find different grip, trying to find areas where it worked for them, and honestly, I can't wait. The Xfinity car is always a great, exciting race here, and I think we're going to have a really good one tonight.
Absolutely, Reese, and we have some points to take a look at coming into tonight's race. That is what's gone thrown up on your screen right there. You see Dustin Montgomery and Tyler Justice. Those are the two drivers who have won this season. Tyler Justice with his win at Daytona, Dustin Montgomery with his 2 wins at Las Vegas and Road America. Tonight, Reese, those two drivers are locked in, and everyone else is fighting for scraps. Max Service, Adrian Schumacher, Gabriel Ellison, those drivers who are at the top of the points table. And Gabriel Ellison, that might be a name that sounds familiar because, well, Gabriel Ellison was the one who got it done last night, Reese. Unfortunately, you were on the losing end of that, as you were a driver who ran very well last night. But being that we're here at Kansas, 4th race of the season, looking at this point situation, Reese, what can you kind of gather from here? What drivers are you looking forward to seeing how they will do and where they'll maybe improve to, or they might unfortunately drop down to as a result of tonight's race?
Yeah, like you said, Gabriel Ellison won last night, and that's actually his second win ever at Kansas. I went back to research and looked that up, and you know, you never know. I mean, he's done it here before on the Xfinity car. Maybe he can do it again. And you know, when you look at the cut line, Emerson, there are a lot of names down there that, you know, you could see. All they need is one race, and boom, they're in. You know, and that cut line is super tight, and I think a lot of drivers around there, you know, even though it's early in the season, it's always good to gain points. So you might see some guys, you know, strategize around the stage, or maybe even come in early when they're in the back and try to gain some spots after the stage. I think it's gonna be really interesting when what we see, what different drivers do depending on their point situation.
Absolutely, and of course that is a good look at your points. It's Paul Bliss, Jesse Nakula, 3 points separating them on the cut line. Of course, this is ever changing as we go weekly here in the Speed Racing Network Z Grills series. Now, Reese, qualifying has been underway, and there is what looks to be about 3 minutes left in qualifying. You can see the times on the board as we speak. Like we don't have anyone scored in. Oh, well, no one scored in 19th because nobody has ran. There's not been a 19th place driver. Scott Kalal is out there on the track as we speak, Reese, and Kalal will put it 12th quickest.
Yeah, as you can see, I mean, times are extremely tight between all the drivers. Only a 10th separates from 1st to 10th, and so like we said earlier, we think this race can be really competitive. And honestly, it's like we said earlier, it comes down to tire wear. Who can find the best groove? Who can get into the best rhythm? And usually, once you get into good rhythms, that's we see those guys usually come on top.
Absolutely. So looks like some names, some times overlapping there, but one name that's not overlapping, Reese, is Dustin Montgomery, who's gone top of the chart. Scott Kalal, there he goes. He flaps it up 12th quickest in the 32 machine, knocking Tyler Justice down in that 6 car. Right now, only 19 times have been placed on the charts. So looking for Kyle Ryan, Jonathan Byer, and Bobby Anderson to take time here in qualifying. And yeah, we got a minute 45 left here in qualifying, and most of these drivers have gone out there and set their times. Now, Reese, we mostly see drivers, especially during the daytime, wait to last second to set a qualifying lap time. But tonight, under the lights here at Kansas, Reese, we saw a very different approach to qualifying.
Yeah, a lot of drivers going out early. I think some drivers, some drivers preference, track temp and all that, but also some do a feel. We'll see guys at the very end of practice do a couple quality runs, and then go out right away just because they're in the groove. And even though you wait 5 minutes, it doesn't seem like a big of a deal. Sometimes that 5 minutes can just slightly catch you off rhythm. Kind of like when you're racing. Every lap you're constantly going through it, feeling better and better. Some drivers like to do that same thing with qualifying, overlapping practice and qualifying like that.
So now, Reese, I know you haven't been too familiar, or you haven't been here weekly with the Z Grills series. I think it's time that we get a chance to meet the teams here in the Z Grills series here for Speed Racing Network, and time to take a look at some of the names that these drivers, or that these guys will be working with tonight. Bobby Anderson leading the charge there at Bandit Motorsports. He's got Jesse Nakula and Jonathan Cofield there alongside. How about Face Shoot Chassis Works, Reese?
Yeah, we got Sean Powell in the number 1 machine. Number 6 machine, we got Tyler Justice, who's been fast all year, but keep an eye on him. Number 8, we got Brandon Bookard and
Elite Sadler Esports there. David
Yep.
Robertson, Paul Bliss. They have been struggling a little bit to get to grips this season. Jonathan Byer Racing, of course. JB, the president here at Speed Racing Network, he's put himself a nice little unit. Phoenix Virtual Racing. We've got Scott Kalal, Drew Ballesteros, Jackson Wade, some of the regulars in that team, Reese.
Yeah, absolutely. And here at Tank Racing, got the old Adrian, the road course man, Vinny, Seth Reed, Seth Berger, and Max Service.
Some of our independent and part-time drivers on the season: Danny Dow, Doc Holliday, Kyle Ryan, Scotty Ryan Sheld. Some of those names you'll see out there running around most weeks. But now the field has been set, Reese. It is time to get down to our starting lineup, and we have our grid ready for us to be displayed. And there we go. It's Dustin Montgomery on the top spot with the pole position tonight. He's got the pole at a 30.464. Sean Powell starts second. Row 2, it's Jesse Nakula and Adrian Schumacher. Row 3, Gabriel Ellison, David Robertson. Row 4, Scotty Ryan, Sheldon Max Service, and Jackson Wade and Vincent Cortez round out row 5. Reese, take us to the next 10.
Yeah, we got Blake Hensley, Scott Kalal, P12. And then P13, we have Christian Swinson, Nathan De La Rosa, P14, Paul Bliss, P15, Brandon Burkhart, P16, Logan Truitt, 17th, Bowser's 18th, Tyler Justice, number 20, or 19, and then Kyle Ryan coming on 20th, JB 21st, Bobby Anderson 22nd.
And that's most of the field this evening. That is actually all of our field, all 22 drivers. So a light field here for the Z Grills series here at Kansas. But that means there's going to be plenty of space for these drivers to use and to search through as we get to racing action tonight. There's your field of 22 Z Grills series cars gridded up on the pit lane and awaiting the safety vehicle to parade them around this 1.5 mile racetrack. And now, Reese, again, you were running this race last night, albeit in the trucks, on the pace lap, right? What's going through your mind? You didn't qualify on pole, right? But you're maybe towards the front. What's your game plan? How aggressive are you in the beginning of this race to set yourself up for track position?
Yeah, Emerson, look at the field size. We got a pretty small field tonight, and so cautions probably aren't, hopefully not into play. And so if it was me up there and I'm starting maybe where Ellison or Schumacher is, maybe I would definitely try to be aggressive. I mean, we know how hard it is to pass, especially in the Xfinity car. These Z-Grill cars, man, they rely so much on aero and tire, and so I honestly I would not be shocked to see drivers being really aggressive early and trying to gain spots before passing becomes really hard later in the run.
Absolutely. We saw track position was the key to last night's race up until those late race restarts, Reese. I know those burned you. But we saw
Yeah.
Las Vegas. We had a very long green flag run. Actually, I can't recall at Las Vegas us having more than 2 cautions. I think we only had the stage caution and 1 caution for incident in the Z-Grill series. I'm expecting very much more the same here tonight with this field, as they're rounding turns 3 and 4 now. Once again, it's Dustin Montgomery and Sean Powell the front row. Jesse Nakula, Adrian Schumacher in row 2. And it is the 36th then of Gabriel Ellis, and last night's winner sat there in that 5th position. VIRacing.com safety vehicle. Well, fine. It's safety in the pit lane. The field in the hands of Dustin Montgomery, the point leader and two-time winner of the season, leads us to the green. One lap completed, and how about victories? It is Adrian Schumacher going to the point around the outside. Adrian Schumacher, the zero scored as a 22 tonight. Working that outside, that orange Tank Racing Saints of Speed machine trying to take the race lead.
Yeah, like I said, right? I mean, if you're sitting fourth or fifth, you might probably want to be aggressive. We know how hard it is to pass, and there, Adrian does exactly what I was thinking. Gets aggressive, uses the high lane to his advantage, getting that big run off the corner, and takes in the lead.
Now you look further back, it's Dustin Montgomery under attack from the 46 of David Robertson. Robertson under that Elliott Sadler Esports group, and Robertson has been on the aggressive, up 3 spots from where he started as well, trying to prioritize his track position early. Nakula being the only driver up there in that high side right now, racing that 84 machine. Well, a lot of drivers not wanting to experiment just yet. Everyone kind of falling down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, last night in the truck we kind of found about 10 laps in. It was really when things started getting really tight down there. So I wonder if you'll see something pretty similar tonight. See if guys around 10 laps or so start moving up and really starting to use that high lane to get big runs off the corners and get good runs down the front and back stretch.
Again, this is the battle highest up on the running order, and it is Sean Powell clearing by the 84 of Jesse Nakula. Let's find our way back. We've got Vincent Cortez making his first start on the season, Reese, and he's got Jackson Wade to his outside, a friend of his. They're going at it hard here off of turn number 2, and Cortez trying to take it 3 wide, looking to the inside there. I believe that is the 18 machine. Let's see, get a reading on who that one is. That one, I believe, is Ryan Sheld that falls behind Cortez, and a very aggressive move from the 23.
Yeah, 5 laps in, and we already see these guys going head-to-head, trying to gain all the spots they can before these tires really start losing on their grip, and people, you know, those back runners, they know that if they're not up there now, they probably won't ever get there during the run, so they're trying to do all they can to move up.
Gabriel Ellison, now he works to the outside of the 46, and Ellison starting to make some hay on that outside. Everyone else sitting pretty on the bottom side, but Ellison is the one crawling his way up the running order. Look at him shoot around the outside. Maybe we get to the outside of Schumacher. Ellison is cooking on that high lane, and it makes sense for last night's winner to find some pace again tonight. And to the point goes to 36. Big time power move there, Reese, from the 36 machine. Why has no one else gone up there and done what Gabriel Ellison just did?
Yeah, you know, you wonder if feel-wise, people are more comfortable on the bottom, but you know, as we say that though, you know, but I see about 3 or 4 guys starting to move up after Gabriel Ellison just drove away. So I think a lot of the competitors out here, you know, saw what Ellison did, or kind of follow suit and try to join him on the outside.
How about Jackson Wade? This driver, he was just down in the 7th position. Now he's up here in 3rd, looking to take 2nd away from Schumacher. And it's Jackson Wade around the outside. Now David Robertson, another driver who was battling a little higher up in the running order, fell back. He's back up so quickly. 9 laps and a very dynamic field to the field already.
Yeah. I mean, we have the top 16, only 2 seconds back from the lead. I mean, everybody's grouped up together, and man, you know, using the draft, letting everybody just pull them along, and everybody's trying to find where the air is in the corner so they don't get too tight and hit the wall. It's really good racing here to start the race.
Absolutely. How about Scotty Reinscheld? We saw him just fall to 10th position. He's back in 6th. Reinscheld scored as the 99, is displaying the 18 on that machine tonight. Scotty Reinschild bringing us some pace with him tonight as well. How about Tyler Justice in the 6 machine? Up 11 spots from where he started. Tyler Justice is on a mission, Reese.
Yeah. Justice saw, you know, what everybody was having fun up here. He's like, why can't I join the party? So making his way up through the field and, you know, already cracked the top 10, only 11 laps down.
Meanwhile, Jackson Wade did get clear of Adrian Schumacher. Cortez now around the outside of David Robertson, and Vincent Cortez joins his tank racing teammate Adrian Schumacher, and he'll immediately pull out to pass. Not able to do so there in the bottom lane. Also, one to note, Max Service lost 8 spots there. Jesse Nakula -9, Sean Powell -7. On the other end of the spectrum, Jackson Wade up 7, Drew Ballesteros up 9 now in that number 54 machine. And of course, Tyler Justice up 12.
Yeah, and that could be too, you know, some drivers moving up and some drivers falling back. Maybe it's, you know, like we said, you know, probably not going to be too many cautions with a small field size. Maybe you guys are, you know, playing the strategy. Maybe we might see Max pit early, or maybe he's trying to get a feel for the car. Maybe he doesn't like what he's feeling right now and just wants to get a good rhythm before he starts moving back, his way back up. You never know.
Absolutely, Reese. And I think the length of the race also adjusts the mindset big time, right? You think last night's race, Reese, you had 100 laps. Tonight is 150. You're adding basically an entire pit stop to the race, and the stage caution is pushed back from lap 25 last night to lap 40 tonight, right? It is a completely different ball game when you talk about the race length.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, we were talking about prior to broadcasts.
Jackson Wade into the back of the 0, and Cortez looking to take advantage to the inside. Everyone escapes no problem, but Ellison up 4.5 tenths on Schumacher now. And now Wade powers by around the outside, back by the 0. And I have to imagine there's maybe a pro and con to that outside lane, Reese, right? Are you overheating your right front tire when you run that high?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the high lane is definitely it's well, I like to call it frenemy, where, you know, it's really nice to you because you get big runs, but man, if you're up there too long, you will start losing lots of time. And so as you can see, a lot of guys are just kind of using it to like for passing opportunities. A lot of guys are sitting bottom, and then once they get close to another driver, then they go up there real quick and pass around the outside. So it's really helping shuffle the field up pretty good. And I'm curious though to see if, you know, drivers continue to ride the bottom or if they eventually all start moving up later in the run.
As you're going to see, we've already gone longer than we did in the truck race without watching the field move up the track. Dustin Montgomery, by the way, back to 12th, and maybe Montgomery has prioritized the long run because now Montgomery rises to the occasion. Ellison continues to roll down low, and Dustin Montgomery, he's going to power by around the outside, hook that left front tire underneath that seam and fly by of 36, and Dustin Montgomery back to the race lead here at Kansas. 184 miles an hour down the back straightaway there for the 12 machine. And the 69 of Jackson Wade catches the wall, and he's going to pay for it. Especially in these Z-Grill Series cars, Reese, catching the wall is almost effectively game over.
Yeah, I mean, these cars rely so much on aerodynamics, and you know, when you hit the wall, it's really hurts you for the rest of the race. Because it also too, like, you know, the car drives completely different after. It can really put drivers in a really uncomfortable spot, and have to relearn the track while they're while the race is going on.
It looks like maybe no significant damage to the 69 machine there for Jackson Wade, but definitely something to keep an eye on. As Montgomery now going defensive on Gabriel Ellison and Vincent Cortez. And Cortez around the outside, down the inside to second. Can he complete the slider? Ellison powers back by on the outside. Tyler Justice takes advantage of it. Go for it.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, curious to see if guys keep riding the bottom, and definitely now I'd say majority of the field, other than a handful of guys, have really started to move at the top. So, but a lot of guys in the back are, you wonder if the guys in the back are trying to save their stuff, because a lot of guys in the back are riding the bottom.
I wonder where the crossover point, if there is one, for drivers running the bottom versus drivers now transitioning to the top is. And it looks like everyone has pretty much found a friend on the high side except for the 12 of Dustin Montgomery.
Yeah, he made the pass earlier to get by Ellison on the high side, and now he's back to the bottom.
Here we go. Ellison up high. Cortez wants to get to the middle. Ellison to the lead. And a caution out on the speedway.
Looks like it's Swenson.
Christian Swenson in the 10 machine. Not entirely sure what might have caused this one, but we'll try to go back and find out for you. Right here, we'll take a look at what happened to the 10 machine. Oh, he gets tagged by the 31. Goes around in a little loop-de-loop, and he'll keep it going. No damage.
Yeah, even though it sucks getting turned, I mean, fortunate it didn't hit into the wall or anything, Could have really hurt his day, but the car looks pretty clean.
See the 31 there of Blake Hensley getting into the back of Christian Swenson in that Liqui Moly Phase 2 Chassis Works machine and loops it around, and somehow, when it loops around, doesn't nose it into the wall there.
Wow. What a piece of driving, huh? Keep that thing out of the wall.
Absolutely. The pit stop's underway. Gabriel Ellison, David Robertson, Adrian Schumacher, and Drew Ballesteros have stayed out. Dustin Montgomery, Vincent Cortez, they came in. Reese, if you think about it, I believe tire sets may be a reason for staying out here and knowing they got that stage caution coming up, but I don't know, man. 20 laps, that's a good distance on tires at Kansas.
Yeah, you wonder too, maybe the fuel strategy coming into play, or like you said, the tire amounts. You wonder if guys are worried, maybe the top four are worried, if you pit this early and don't pit during the stage, or, maybe these guys too, top four are like, hey, if we pit now and also at the stage, we're down 2 sets in the first 40 laps with 150 to go, and so maybe they're playing the long game.
I mean, that's a great way of looking at it, Reese. If you leave yourself only 2 sets with 110 laps to go, in the event of a late race caution, if these 4 can bolt on a set of 4 fresh feel goods, we're talking a different story.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a race changer. These 4 could really propel.
So we'll have to keep in mind Gabriel Ellison, David Robertson, Adrian Schumacher, and Drew Ballesteros. And while we keep them in mind, don't you go anywhere. We're going to give a shout out to our commercial partner here at the Speed Racing Network, Butt Kicker. A message from them coming up next. Welcome, race fans, back to the virtual Kansas Speedway. We're here for week 4 of 20 here for the Speed Racing Network Z Grills series. And it is Gabriel Ellison, David Robertson, Drew Ballesteros, and Adrian Schumacher. The top 4 here working lap number 26 of 150. We're getting ready to go back to racing. 4 drivers out here on old tires, Reese, and a whole lot more on fresh ones. The iRacing.com safety vehicle will find it safety in the pit lane. The field in the hands of the 36 of Gabriel Ellison, and racing once again from Kansas. Right away, Reese, we got 3 and 4 wide action. Fanning out behind race leader Gabriel Ellison. Montgomery to the bottom. Looking to take the race lead away on those fresh ones. And he will clear the 36 of Gabriel Ellison. Montgomery back to the point. Ellison, Cortez, Robertson, Wade, and Ballesteros. The next 5. Scotty Reinscheld making a run up the inside. He'll clear by Wade and Justice, but now has to battle it out with the 36 of Ellison. And Scotty Reinscheld is making a power move down there.
Yeah, we got tight racing here with all the new tires trying to make their way through the old tires. I mean, the whole field. I mean, top 12 under a blanket up here, Emerson.
Absolutely, throw a blanket on them. I'd even give you the top 14 if you can include Powell and Ballesteros. Now, you do see Schumacher, Ballesteros, Robertson, Ellison. They are suffering. They appear in no position to gather stage points here, Reese. But will that extra set of tires pay off at the end of the race? Well, I guess we'll have to wait and find out.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think their goal was to try to get some stage points, but honestly, if they didn't get it, it wasn't the end of the world. I think they're just trying to save on those sets and try to be there towards the end.
Speaking of someone who's got to be there towards the end here, Reese, Vincent Cortez making his first start on the season. Reese, you only get 3 drop weeks in of a regular season here in Speed Racing Network, and we're at week 4. This is his first start. He is already out of drop weeks. This is going to be 10 perfect weeks for Cortez if he's gonna point his way into the playoffs. But riding in second for someone who is just coming off a concussion in the last 3 weeks. He's kind of been feeling it out. Said he went out surfing, had a little bit of an accident, but here he is in the 23 machine up in second. No rust.
Yeah, you know, he's didn't wait around, that's for sure. Got back from his concussion, got right back into it.
So the top 3, Reese, running that high line, the rest running that bottom line. Is there any value to that bottom line's contact there between Nakula and Kyle Ryan? Jackson Wade wants to get in there. He stays behind the 89.
Kind of interesting, Emerson. You know, the first one we saw a lot of guys using the bottom lane. Now this one seems like everybody's kind of using the top one.
From time to time, you do now see Max Service. He's back there committed to the bottom lane. Looks like the 6 of Tyler Justice. He is still being aggressive, working his way forward. But Reese, we're coming around to 5 laps to go in the stage. And it's go time now if you want some stage points.
Yeah, and maybe that's why we see all these guys being really aggressive, trying to make their way, use the Highland to their advantage, use up those tires.
And Jackson Wade, he'll cut down late to cut in front of the 89 of Kyle Ryan. Wade now trying to pull the slider on Burkhart. Wade gets up there. Burkhart with the crossover to the bottom of the side for V8 machine. And Burkhart clears the 69. Here comes the 89 of Kyle Ryan. As this, the battle inside stage points right now. How about the battle for stage points between Jesse Nakula and Sean Powell? Scott Kalal right behind. It looks like Powell will get it around the outside service now, working on Kyle Ryan. He'll get the slider done, and Ryan tries the crossover. 3 laps left in stage 1. How about here? Tyler Justice, Brandon Burkhart, Jackson Wade. This for 4th. Sideways, this is the 69, the 8. They all bobble off the corner. Dustin Montgomery, he has opened up a large margin here. Looking at 7/10 of a second, coming around to 1 lap to go in stage number 2. Cortez in second, Scotty Ranchell third, Tyler Justice fourth, and Jackson Wade in 5th. Sean Powell still going to work on Scott Kalal. Powell gets by Scott Kalal there. Kyle Ryan and Brandon Burkhart trying to fend off Max Service, but off of turn number 4, it's going to be Dustin Montgomery crossing the line, winning stage number 1 here at Kansas. Vincent Cortez second, and a caution comes out.
Man, I tell you what, it looked like some of those guys were going for the win back there, the last couple stage points, trying everything they could.
Absolutely. And you have to wonder, with pit lane, it'll be open next time by. A lot of these guys, they used up a lot of tire here, Reese. Is there anyone who's going to be able to stay out here and save a set of tires here? I mean, some of these guys, they're in no position to save a set of tires.
Yeah, and you wonder too, with the fuel situation, maybe some guys will just come down, and even though they won't get tires, maybe they'll top off, just in case.
That might be another part of it. So there's your stage winner, Dustin Montgomery, out of Phase 2 Chassis Works. And, well, we've said his name a lot so far this season. This 12 machine has been on rails. Whether it was finishing up front there at Daytona, getting 2 victories, getting a couple stage victories along the way, Dustin Montgomery has been leading the field, has been showing the field their way around the Speed Racing Network Z Grills Series schedule. And pit lane is open. Everyone, most of the field working their way to the attention of their pit crew. So varying strategy here, Reese. We'll have 4 tire stops. We'll have 2 tire stops. We'll have no fuel, or we'll have fuel only stops. And the grab bag strategy sure to ensue. Stopping on the marks there is the 12 machine. And Scotty Reinshell, Tyler Justice, way win the race off pit lane. They had a 7.5 second pit stop. Then the 99 and the 6 looks like it's 9 seconds for Montgomery, 8 seconds for Burkhardt. I'd imagine a lot of those guys, yeah, fuel only. Cortez, 15-second stop. Vincent Cortez is the first one on fresh tires.
Yeah, just like we were saying, you know, I mean, a lot of different strategies coming on here, you know. I wonder if just like last restart, we're going to see a lot of shuffling through the field, a lot of hard racing.
Well, race, we are under our stage caution tonight, which means we will get the chance to interview our stage winner this evening, driver of the number 12, Dustin Montgomery. And we've said his name quite a lot so far in the Speed Racing Network Z Grills series. But Dustin, this one, a stage you kind of had to work for a little bit, lost some track position early in the stage. Again, the caution, playing a little strategy. 4 drivers stayed out there. The strategy call to come in at the lap 20 caution. Well, what say you?
Yeah, well, we were kind of confused on how many tire sets we had for the race. So, yeah, you know, knowing what we know now, I think we probably would have stayed out there and saved a set of tires for the end here. So, you know, kind of what we did, we just took fuel right here. So we're on the tires that we just ran that 20 laps on and just try to have some tire sets left for the end of the race.
So it does seem like everything here is being tire set motivated. Now for you, you'll be here in third, and it'll be a teammate in Tyler Justice up in front of you. How aggressive will you be now, knowing you're on old tires? You got to make these tires last a little bit. Will you be on the set of tires to keep that track position?
Yeah, right now I don't think, you know, really all I'm thinking about is, you know, getting to this next green flag pit stop or whatever. I'm not really going to be racing for position so much. It's just, you know, whatever I think is going to make this fuel run right here the best for me. Whatever gets me through it the quickest.
And now, while I know they have their varying characteristics, you could imagine that tonight being a mile and a half, everyone looks towards this 12 machine who performed very well at Las Vegas. How do you feel it's comparing? Do you feel you have that same kind of power, energy, momentum underneath that 12 machine to get it done tonight the same way you did in Vegas, or how are you feeling?
I don't think not the same way. I don't think anybody's winning by, you know, 10 or 12 seconds tonight. The track's really cool. It's really gripped up. I think you're going to see a lot of people are running the same speed for a long portion of the run, and you know, with 14 gallons of fuel, I don't think that really plays into the tires too much. I think you'll see a little bit of guys slow down at the end of the run, but overall, everybody's going to be real close to the same speed.
Well, there you are, stage winner, driver of the number 12, Dustin Montgomery. Dustin, congratulations on your stage 1 victory. Best luck to you the rest of the way here at Kansas.
Thanks, guys.
Here it is, driver of the number 12, Dustin Montgomery. He restarts third here on this restart. The field is in the hands of the 18 of Scotty Reinsheld, who he did pit, but it was only a 7.5 second pit stop. Whether that's 2 tires or if it's fuel only, we don't know. I'm imagining it's fuel, but as the iRacing.com safety vehicle finds its safety in the pit lane, racing commences once again. And it's Scotty Reinshell holding station out in front. Tyler Justice fighting back hard against his teammate Dustin Montgomery. Justice powers by on the outside. How about 3 wide behind, though? Looks like that is Max Service working against Brandon Burkhardt, Jackson Wade, and now they power by on the outside. Service falls behind Burkhardt.
Just like last restart Emerson, we see a lot of changes in shuffling per position. Guys with old tires, guys with new tires. A lot of chaos in the midfield.
Absolutely. The midfield again, that's where all the action's happening. And uh-oh, Adrian having a problem there. Looks like a connection disconnect there, a slight disconnect. And Brandon Burkhart now slipping through the middle service, and then Robertson will split the 8 machine, and looks like a couple more coming his way. 89 Orion, as he gets perfectly in the way, Ballesteros drops down, and Gabriel Ellison, something amiss on the 8 machine.
Just complete chaos here in the midfield. All 3 lanes being used throughout the corners. Really hard, good racing here early in the race.
How about good racing up front? Cortez tried to get the lead from Scotty Reinschild. Led for a moment, but now trying to work that inside. He's got fresh tires. He'll dive it down to the inside. He'll complete the slider off of turn 4, and Vincent Cortez is leading once again in the Speed Racing Network here in the Z-Girls Series. First lap led on the season for the 23.
Yeah, once again, just like last run, we see a lot of guys resorting to high lane early up front, while most guys in the back, you're still using that bottom lane, trying to gain position.
Got some battling back here. Robertson, Kalal, Nakula trying to get around Max Service. Looks like Kyle Ryan wants a piece of the action. Robertson clears, but it's Nakula and Kalal side by side for 9th. And now Max Service on the inside, working past the 12 of Dustin Montgomery. Cortez now up to a near second advantage on Scotty Reinschild. Service trying to get up there as well.
We saw Max early in the race laying back first 10-15 laps, and now all of a sudden here he is battling for P2.
Yeah, very aggressive. A change of heart for the 81 machine here, Reese. Service, a very conservative driver when it comes to tire wear, but right now he is powering forward. He wants to get that track position. 3 wide behind. It's Justice who powers by the 12 of Montgomery. Kalal trying to make some hay on the inside. Service clears to second on Robertson. Tyler Justice getting a shove from teammate Dustin Montgomery, trying to fight back on the 32 of Kalal, but to no avail. And Powell nearly catching the wall.
And look at this racing. 54 laps in, and we're just 3 wide, a couple rows deep back here in the field.
Absolutely, everybody trying to find a spot. If gap car, but there's no gap, and I guess no car, but 3 wide. Everyone trying to find a spot at the dance. Schumacher now caught out in the middle, tries to clear up. He will in front of Powell. Maybe 4 wide behind. Ellison back here as well. They are 4 wide, car in the wall. Look at that, Paul Bliss. He gets walled there, I believe maybe by Kyle Ryan. I might be mistaken. But they were 4 wide for a brief moment, Reese, and it's Paul Bliss that catches the worst end of that.
Yeah, you were correct. It was Kyle Ryan. He didn't realize. I don't think he even saw Paul up there, and slid up just a fraction amount, but they were 4 wide, and there was just no space, and Bliss got into the wall.
Schumacher working on Montgomery. Here comes Ballesteros to the outside of Wade. David Robertson got back by Max Service. Scott Kalal is clear to 4th, and this is the battle for 5th race. Scotty Reinschild and Ven this.
Yeah, I think we're still seeing that old and new tires kind of try to work their way out.
Oh, we got a car in the wall. 2 cars in the wall. The caution's gonna come out. Jesse Nakula and Christian Swenson involved in the second caution for incident. And we'll try to figure out what happened here. Nakula comes down from the top of the track, clips the 10 there of Christian Swenson.
It looked like Nakula was just out of control. Not sure if he got hit or.
Yeah, Nakula got sideways there and just clips the 10 of Swenson. I'll have to go back a little bit and see what happened.
Yeah, go to like the middle of 3 and 4.
Yeah, this is off of turn 2. Nakula getting passed by Jonathan Byer. And into turn 3, Nakula right in that middle lane. Sitting in that middle lane, and oh, we caught that a lap early.
Sorry, we got time.
But we'll watch the lap then. And it'll be down here in turns 3 and 4. Nakula contacted from behind by Paul Bliss. Sideways, tries to save it, one's up the track, and Christian Swenson nowhere to go.
And just Nakula almost had it saved, and then just did the right thing by trying to get out of the way, get away from the wall, and then Swenson was down there just unlucky, man.
$90 laps to go. Vincent Cortez, David Robertson, Scott Kalal, Jackson Wade did not pit under this caution. Max Service is the first driver to pit under this caution. Adrian Schumacher. Remember how he saved a set of tires? Well, he is able to put a fresh set of 4 field goods right here.
Yeah,
In
very
7th.
similar to the lap 20, lap 30 caution. We got, again, 4 guys that came in, or stayed out rather, and the rest of the field coming in. So a lot of different strategies. It's going to be hard for drivers to know who's on what tire and how hard to race everybody.
It's already hard for us to know, and we got all the information.
No kidding. Yeah.
We're going to take a moment and once again shout out our commercial partner here at Speed Racing Network, Butt Kicker. Don't you go anywhere. Welcome, race fans, back to virtual Kansas City, Kansas. We're here once again for week number 4 here in the Speed Racing Network Z Grills series, and it has been a fun one so far. 60 complete here at Kansas Speedway, and it is Vincent Cortez making his first start on the season in the 4th week here. Cortez again missing 3 weeks due to injury and other personal matters. And the iRacing.com stated the vehicle will find its safety in the pit lane. The field in the hands of Vincent Cortez, and racing commences once again. Vincent Cortez out in front, trying to get away from the hungry monsters behind Robertson. And look at Vince, he's 3 by 3.
Almost looks like pack racing at Daytona.
And we thought we wouldn't really see it with these Xfinity cars. Kalal losing momentum. They're going to go 4 wide out of turn 2. And look at them, 4 abreast, no problem.
Oh.
Great heads-up driving from everyone. And sideways is Reinscheld. He holds on to it.
Once again, we talked about, those old tires meeting the new ones, and guys not wanting to wait around, knowing how hard it is to pass late in the run, being aggressive.
Absolutely, being aggressive, Reese, an understatement tonight. Goodness gracious. So here's Dustin Montgomery trying to work his way back up the running order to the 46 now with David Robertson. Robertson out of Elliott Sadler Esports. Montgomery out of Phase 2 Chassis Works trying to get around Vincent Cortez out of Tank Racing. And Montgomery's there to the inside of the 23. And Dustin Montgomery to the point.
Yeah, you gotta remember Montgomery on those fresher tires, and Cortez had a nice clean air for a while and was able to keep his tires under him, and looks like he was able to save a decent amount, not falling back too fast.
Absolutely. Cortez hanging in there right now in 3rd. Teammates of Montgomery and Powell, they have now worked their way back up to 1st and 2nd. Scotty Reinscheld trying to get up to 3rd.
Yeah, you wonder if guys are starting to, we had really good racing for the first couple laps there, and it's starting to space out a little bit. You wonder if guys are really trying to prepare themselves for a long run here. Like you said, restarting there with 90 to go. Still plenty of race left.
Absolutely. Right here we're watching Tyler Justice trying to work his way into the top 10 around the 35 of Logan Truitt, who has received a bite on that rear end.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that contact's from. I might have to go back and look and see if I can find the culprit of that one.
Yeah, that one looks like a big one. And maybe affecting the 35 big time. Christian Swenson, by the way, has re-entered the pit lane. He was already 2 laps down and is back in. Blake Hensley up in 7th, catching up to the 23 of Cortez. Find our way a little bit our ways a little bit back here. Jackson Wade, Logan Truitt, Brandon Burkhart, and Kyle Ryan. Sifting through some of the racing action. And here we go. Cortez 3 wide here. Under attack from, looks like Hensley and Tyler Justice. Hensley trying to make easy work of the 23 on the bottom side. Hensley clears. And Gabriel Ellison getting friendly, trying to get to the inside of Ryan Scheld. Ryan Scheld. Ryan Scheld in third. Sat behind Sean Powell. And so that's the top 5. It's now Hensley, Justice, 6th, 7th, Cortez, 8th, Truitt, 9th, and the battle for 10th is Ballesteros fending off the field.
Yeah, good racing back here for just beyond 10th. Guys still trying to make their way, you know, with fresh tires, trying to make their way up there.
And that's what a grab bag of strategy can do to a race here, Reese, is Kyle Ryan trying to make that car rotate down on the bottom side and get that position cleared. 5 of 54, but 3 wide. Here is going to force some issue. And Wade backs out, and Stella Rosa trying to work his way past the 8.
I think Wade's on older tires. He was really loose there coming out of turn 2.
And a moment for Tyler Justice off the racing surface for the 6 machine. Try and go back and see what happened to the 6. Oh, Reese, he just clipped the apron.
Yeah, very interesting. Really slow down. I wonder if it's a equipment malfunction or something.
Now for Tyler Justice, it looked like he caught the apron, right? And then just immediately locked it down. As Jackson Wade has hit the pit lane in the 69 machine. And is this hit cycle for the 69?
Could be. We saw him really loose. Maybe, you know, wants to try something else. Try to get new fresh ones on there and see if we can get lucky and get some green flag racing.
So down and away is the 69 Ven of Jackson Wade. Tyler Justice, the last car in the lead lap at 20th. The Canadians, Scott Kalal and Max Service at 19th and 18th. And from then on, it is Montgomery leading the field by 1.3 seconds over teammate Sean Powell. Third place, Scotty Reinscheld. And fourth place, Gabriel Ellison.
Yeah, we were talking about Ellison, you know, won in last night. That was, you know, he has now won twice at Kansas in his SRN career. And he actually, his first race win was season 1. And he won by over 3 seconds, the biggest win margin of victory at Kansas in SRN history.
What was that margin for us, Reese?
The Kansas race, that was, the first one was 3 seconds. The last night, I think it was only... the last night was super close.
Last night was close. I'm talking about the largest margin, because right now Montgomery is on his way to that.
Yeah, no kidding. You know, we were talking about Montgomery's dominance earlier. Out of the 276 laps this season, he has led 156 of them coming in tonight. So he is not shy of leading this field.
Yeah, Dustin Montgomery has led well over half of this race, or half of the season, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And this race, probably.
Yeah, at this point in this race as well. The closest battle in the top 5 is Schumacher trying to find a way past Ellison. But for now, that looks like a stabilized battle. We still have action back here. Paul Bliss on Ballesteros. So Ballesteros holding station for the time being, but they quickly close the gap on Nathan De La Rosa as well. And now we're getting busy up here. Ellison under attack from Schumacher.
Yeah, these top 4 have really started to grow a gap. It's about a 2.5 second gap between Schumacher and Hensley. Those fresh tires really coming into effect here.
Absolutely a distinct break in the field, and Paul Bliss once again working on the 54. Ballesteros, De La Rosa able to hold station for the time being, then in 10th. That high side is what Ballesteros is trying to work. Paul Bliss showing some strength on the bottom side as well. But this battle may be then decided by Brandon Burkhart in the 8 machine, giving a boost to Ballesteros.
Yeah, and Burkhart's dealing with a little damage. I mean, he got hit by Wade back on lap 39, but nothing too significant. Still cracking, just trying to crack his way into the top 10.
You're right, Burkhart works his way past Paul Bliss. Now Brandon Burkhart sets his sights on Drew Ballesteros and Nathan De La Rosa up the road. And now Bobby Anderson has opened the door on Paul Bliss.
Yeah, he has 2 top 5s here at Kansas in his SRN career. Trying to get another one tonight.
How about that then for Bobby Anderson? The driver's been very fast this season. At least in qualifying. Tonight did not appear to be the case for Bobby Anderson in qualifying. Started at the rear of the field tonight, but Bobby working his way up the field now to try to make something out of nothing tonight.
Yeah, we talked about earlier, those strategies coming involved. Maybe, you know, he didn't like his short run pace, wanted the long run pace, and was hoping for some green flag runs.
Well, here's your green flag runs. Gabriel Ellison now past Reinscheld, and things really heating up for 3rd. And Vincent Cortez in trouble.
Yeah, I believe he was trying to hit pit road there and missed it, Emerson.
Oh no. So that one's gonna hurt Vincent Cortez. He loses about 4 seconds just trying to pit and failing to pit. Up front, Schumacher has gotten past Scotty Reinscheld. And so...
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe...
Ballesteros narrowly makes it to pit lane. Cortez does. And Robertson is in.
Talk about cutting close there for Ballesteros, huh?
Absolutely.
Oh, man. Hey, we've seen it, though, Emerson, you know? I mean, pit road can win and lose the races. It's, man, if you hit it just right, you can gain tons of time.
Oh, no. And Cortez. Guys, this one's not good. Look at that speed.
I think he's out of fuel there, Emerson.
That is the case. For Vincent Cortez crawling at 17 miles an hour to his pit box, and he's found, I believe that's his box, yeah. There he goes, but
gotta be careful to, yeah, but also too, when you come in like that, you gotta be careful you really stop on the sign, because if you overshoot it,
you don't have fuel to back up.
you don't have, yeah, exactly.
You have to take that tow. We got a battle here between Nakula and Jackson Wade. Max Service right behind Jonathan Byer. Scott Kalal enters the pits.
Starting to see a lot of guys struggle on these older tires, and not surprised seeing a lot of guys trying to get going to pit road early.
And caution on the speedway. Trying to find something amiss for the caution to come out. Let's see what we are able to find. And it gives us Blake Hensley, but nothing of note.
I'm looking at myself, Emerson. I'm not seeing anything. Trying to look for, maybe there's a car stopped in the apron. Maybe, I don't know if there's someone entered in pit road.
Not entirely sure on this one, guys. Yeah.
Maybe we got, you know, what they had at Richmond. We got a spectator climbing the fence. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe with the, I'm not sure what happened.
Have some debris out there, I guess would be the case.
Yeah.
This was the closest battle on track, but these guys, they were still running. The time of caution. There's the yellow. So I guess one way we can look at this race, let's see if anyone has any damage out there.
Yeah.
But I can't put my finger on anyone.
I honestly have no idea what happened. I've went through almost all the cars here, and I don't see anybody off track or off pace. I don't know. Maybe if someone's blinking and we don't see them. Maybe I don't know.
Fire has some nose damage. I don't know if Jonathan Byer is the reason for the yellow, though.
Don't think so. Huh, interesting.
See what happens if we go Jonathan Byer. He already had nose damage. I guess here, this is the moment of caution. Let's see if we can see anyone going around. Maybe spotter camera. I don't.
Yeah, I don't see anybody. I really don't know.
So this one might be a mystery event from race control to.
Might be like we said, debris or a spectator climbing the fence. One of the two. Maybe I'll have to look out, see if security's pulling anyone down out in the stands out there, Emerson. I'm not sure.
Yeah, not entirely sure on that one.
Tell you what, though, this caution, changes a lot of strategies. We saw guys coming to pit road, and
we see
maybe,
a lot of guys got trapped as well.
Yeah, a lot of cars. Gonna have to round the pace car here, and
yeah, Drew Ballesteros, Scott Kalal, David Robertson, Tyler Justice, Vincent Cortez, trying to catch the wave around.
Got
Cortez fell 2 laps down, by the way, by losing fuel pressure. So Cortez is in 21st. He's going to be 1 lap down. Everybody else will be on the lead lap.
Luckily for him, though, he's the only car a lap down, so caution comes out. Lucky dog opportunity there.
Absolutely.
Emerson, we got just under 60 to go here. You wonder if strategy-wise, it's probably just going to be a one-stop from here on out for most drivers?
I believe so. It's going to be really hard to think of Ways to alter the strategy here. Not a whole lot. So let's do a race reset. It's Montgomery over Sean Powell, Adrian Schumacher, Gabriel Ellison, Blake Hensley, Scotty Reinscheld, Nathan De La Rosa, Bobby Anderson, Brandon Burkhart, and Paul Bliss, the top 10. And so VIRacing.com safety vehicle will find its safety in the pit lane for the 5th time tonight. The 4th restart. Montgomery leads us back to racing here at Kansas. Four wide in the back of the pack. Cortez makes contact with what looks like David Robertson. And it's all Dustin Montgomery out in front. Sean Powell trying to get around his teammate. Whoa, Nathan De La Rosa clears right in front of Scotty Reinscheld. Now Reinscheld pushes the 66 down the straightaway. And we're looking at 54 laps to go. And everyone trying to find a place in line, find some track position.
Yeah, Emerson, you wonder if most drivers realize probably only one stop left, so gonna be pretty aggressive here, trying to get some spots early.
Yeah, everyone's going to be making that one stop. It's going to be now, when do you make that one stop? Do you short pit? Do you run it late? Typically, you want to run it late, but there's no real answer until we get to it, right? We don't know where the fastest guys are going to end up stopping. And really, the fastest guys are going to be the ones you want to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we've had 2 cautions tonight, three total, 1 stage and 2
4 total.
regular, 4 total. You're right. Wait, that's the
fancy yellow.
the fence one. Yeah, exactly. So statistically, you know, in previous Kansas races, the most we've ever had was 5. So I would say odds are we're probably done most, maybe one more, if history would repeat itself.
I would say fastest lap, last lap went to Blake Hensley. And this lap, fastest lap went to Dustin Montgomery. So, okay, well, nothing to miss there.
You know, Emerson, it's pretty interesting. You know how we talked about early in the race, a lot of guys were that very first run going low, and then second and third run we saw a lot of guys high. This one kind of very similar to the very start of the race. Got a lot of guys, you know, going low and then moving up. You wonder if guys are planning on maybe, you know, a longer run here.
And Vincent Cortez has had an off. And something amiss for the 23. Try to see what happened. He got sideways out of turn 4, slid through the grass. And missed his box and took a toe.
Yeah.
And that, my friends, might be day done for the 23. Somebody who needed a good day today.
Yeah, we talked about he already used the 3 drop weeks, and man, he was leading laps early, and
he's
just
gone.
Kinda,
it is.
Yeah. Tough break, tough night here for Cortez.
On the north side of 100 laps complete, It's Dustin Montgomery in the race lead over Sean Powell, Adrian Schumacher, Gabriel Ellison, and Blake Kensley. And it's Dustin Montgomery running away with it.
Yeah, you know, we talked about earlier, Emerson, the largest margin of victory was the second half here in the Z-Girl Series through its history here at Kansas. But I also forgot to mention that there is no finish has been closer than 6/10. So they've all been in that window, and you know, here we are, Powell sitting 7/10 behind Montgomery. We'll see if history beats itself.
Now, what will be interesting is what the margins are after green flag pit stops, because at Las Vegas, that was the determining factor of how the race ended, was how everyone cycled out of green flag pit stops.
Yeah, see how guys get on and off pit road, and see how different strategies play out. Absolutely.
Take a gander throughout the field and see where the closest points of action are now. And the closest points of action may be the cars up against the outside wall. Most of these drivers fighting with coming towards the outside wall, fighting the grip of those outside right rear tires, especially trying to run in near that outside wall.
Yeah, we talked about prior to the race, you know, that turn 2 and turn 4 wall, even though they look far away. Once the tires get old, man, they get closer and closer, and they are very unforgiving.
Yeah, the turns 2 and 4 wall, they don't care who you are. They're out to get you. They're hungry. And
Absolutely.
It's a matter of time before they start feasting, I'd imagine.
Yeah, we've already seen a handful of drivers tonight, you know, hit that wall. I've written down on my notes. Nakula hit it once on lap 101. We saw Justice hit it lap 35. We saw Wade hit it lap 18. A lot of guys, you know, bouncing off that outside wall.
Here we go, Jonathan Byer working past Scott Kalal for the 14th position, and he'll do so now approaching this battle between Nathan De La Rosa and Kyle Ryan. This for 10th, De La Rosa trying to clear past the 89.
Yeah, I tell you what, Emerson, it seems like that 10th spot's there's been a battle going around there all race tonight.
Absolutely. It has seemed like it. Also close here between Service and Burkhart. Burkhart holding 8th.
Yeah, talking about Service, I went through his finishes here at Kansas SRN, and his best finish is 8th. So I think he's trying to get past Burkhart and hopefully get up to Ryan Shield and Anderson up there in 7th, 6th.
Trying to duplicate that best finish, and he's got a run now on V8. And Service powers by Burkhart.
Moving into that 8th spot.
Yeah, that moves Service in the 81 up to P8 around car 8.
Yeah. I believe he's actually finished 8th twice, I believe, here at Kansas in his SRN career.
Trying to make it triple 8s then for...
Yeah. Crazy 8, huh?
Crazy 8. 38-1 of Max Service. Bobby Anderson is under attack. Scotty Ryan Sheld, the attacker, wants a piece of the action for 6th. With 40 laps to go, and Reese, now we're quickly approaching the halfway mark of this final run to the checkers, right? From 60 laps to go, you'd imagine these drivers are going to start looking at pit stops. And who's going to short pit who?
Yeah, you wonder if guys like Powell, Schumacher run to second, 30, maybe even Ellison, you know, last night's winner. Maybe pit a little early, try to gain some track position on Montgomery. We know how hard it is to pass with the dirty air and the way the track is. So
And if it's only a couple laps, once the tires even out, once everyone's
Yeah.
up to the same temp,
yeah,
it could be anyone's game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, catching somebody is one thing, Reese, but passing them is another. As you said, we already mentioned how difficult it is to overtake here. But once you catch someone, if you spend maybe 2-3 laps on that inside lane, all of a sudden, the tires are even.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always hard for drivers to pick their battles. When should I attack? When should I not? It's always difficult to judge.
How about Vish? Schumacher closing the gap on Powell. This is a sneaky driver here, Reese. First of all, Adrian Schumacher driving a little mad with himself after last week at Road America. Very much was the favorite last week, Reese, and made a late race mistake. Still had a chance to win it, but without that late race mistake, it's almost a surefire victory for Schumacher. But, well, you've won a race where Schumacher had, all of a sudden come to life with some late race tire life and late race pace, and Schumacher slowly but surely has caught the one of Sean Powell, and maybe in extreme cases for the long run, this zero car might be something we might be talking about here in a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw, Schumacher get around Ellison about, it was around 10 laps ago or 15 or so, and, he's worked his way up to Powell. We know, not in this league, but in other leagues, how quick Adrian is around here. I think he's really comfortable in that Z Grill's car and slowly creeping his way up there.
Absolutely. This car fits his driving style. 100%. This car is an Adrian Schumacher approved vehicle when it comes to wheeling these beasts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty tight back here. Oh, contact! Service makes contact with Anderson. Anderson sideways. And Anderson slams the wall. Uh-oh. We were going to catch a replay, but he's being approached by a 3-wide battle. And everyone does work it out. And we'll see what happened to Bobby Anderson. Right here. Oh, turn 4, service. Coming up the track. Anderson, oh, he gets the wall. Anderson does. Service not able to avoid him. Makes just the slightest contact and directs Anderson to that outside wall.
Man, tough break for Bobby Anderson. Had such a good race going on. Started from the back. Found himself up in the top 10.
Was a good run for Bobby. Someone who's already got 2 poles on the season. Bobby Anderson now finds himself in 18th. Jackson Wade on the pit lane. First pit stop on this cycle.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe we saw him pit pretty early in the race as well.
That is correct. He
Must
pit
be,
so early, though, Reese. When that caution came out, he was not trapped a lap down. He unlapped himself.
Yeah. Maybe he's really happy about his short run pace and looking forward to putting on those new fresh Goodyears.
So 31 laps to go. Wade comes out off the pit lane a lap down. And the battle is on here for second, Reese, between Adrian and Sean Powell.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, though. Passing is definitely another thing instead of catching. Yes, absolutely.
But he's there. He's looking to the inside. Unfortunately, a little slight disconnect from the server. But Adrian, he might push it to the limit here, knowing how valuable this track position could be. Look at that, up alongside.
Man, making him stick on the bottom of those tires.
But Powell's going to make him work for it, and Powell slots in behind. Powell's coming in. Uh-oh, is he? And he slides past the pit entry, and he might have sped.
We'll have to see once he gets his box.
Oh, and if Sean Powell was trying to make a sneaky strategy move on Adrian Schumacher, he might have paid for it. But I wonder if Schumacher would know if the one car sped, and we'll have to find out with the pit timer here, Reese. We'll see here. Stopping in the box. And he would be down and away, and he is not.
Man.
I tell you what, Reese. Obviously, Adrian was physically passing the one of Sean Powell. But that was some mind games right there. Powell saw how aggressive Adrian was being to make that overtake, so Powell gave it up to him. And he was going to come down to pit lane immediately after Adrian would have cleared him. And Powell is paying the price for the mistake on pit entry.
Yeah, tough break for Powell. You know, we talked about it earlier. You know, pit road, it can be extremely advantageous, or it can also really hurt you. And unfortunate for Powell, got caught speeding
in a massive way. I mean, he was slipping, sliding, trying everything to not speed, and to no avail. Now we got a lot of cars coming down to pit lane. Scotty Reinshell, Jesse Nakula, Drew Ballesteros, and Jonathan Byer, after Ellis and Hensley, De La Rosa, Truett all pitted last time round. Also, Scott Kalaw is in the 32 machine, a busy pit lane.
Yeah, coming just about to come to 25 to go here.
And Sean Powell, it was a 54-second stop to confirm the speeding penalty then for him. And Max Service is in. So the Canadians pitting one lap apart from one another. Kalaw and Service.
You know, Emerson, we see a lot of guys coming down to pit road, except the leader still out there.
Adrian Schumacher coming down pit lane now to short pit. Now, how much of an effect will this have on Dustin Montgomery? We'll have to see. I'd imagine Montgomery's coming in this lap.
Yeah, see if he'll respond.
Montgomery setting up on the bottom. And here he comes. Can he nail the pit entry without speeding? Pushing it, but looks like it's a stable entry for the 12. Kyle Ryan to the race lead in the 89.
Ryan getting that bonus point by leading a lap.
Absolutely. Brandon Burkhart, Tyler Justice out there as well. Paul Bliss and Bobby Anderson. So you have to pit. Schumacher, here he is on pit exit. It's going to be intriguing to watch where does Schumacher come out in relation to Montgomery. Montgomery in the box. Getting left side tires now. Down and away for the 12. Schumacher coming off of turn 4. This one's going to be one to watch. Montgomery trying to get up to speed.
Yeah, Schumacher, we saw Schumacher to it late in the run.
Here
Getting
he
a good
is.
push.
This is going to be the battle between Montgomery and Schumacher. While Kyle Ryan still leads, Dustin Montgomery's going to come out about 8/10 ahead of Adrian Schumacher. But now Schumacher, he's going to be put into a position here, Reese, that he's not normally in. Schumacher usually saves tires. He's going to be now the one on the aggressive.
Gonna have to see if Adrian can close the gap, you know, coming to about 21 to go here.
Speaking of which, the top 5 have yet to pit. Gabriel Ellison, by the way, is our theoretical race leader at the moment.
Yeah, doing that early stop, hoping for a yellow.
5
strategy.
laps before Montgomery.
I was gonna say, you know, Ellison, that worked out for him last night, staying out,
It did.
getting that late race yellow, and end up the winner.
Gabriel Ellison won in phenomenal fashion last night on late race restarts, holding off a very hungry driver searching for their first win in SRN, Connor Cunningham, but Ellison was able to remain calm, played the right lane, and brought it home with a race victory. Well, Ellison was adamant that he was going to make it on field regardless of that late race caution. Here comes the leaders. Kyle Ryan, Brandon Burkhart, Tyler Justice are in. Paul Bliss are in. They have extended the fuel cells as far as they can. Bobby Anderson is in. The top 5 are all in.
I wonder if they were starting to run out of fuel there. Emerson just trying to
And
hope
Kyle
for late
Ryan
race
takes
yellow.
a splash of fuel. Now, he's not going to come out as the leader, but where does he come out in relation to the rest of the field? And how does he run compared to the others? Now, here's the other thing, right? Dustin Montgomery is sat in third, 3.7 seconds back of Gabriel Ellison. Is there enough time? Is there enough tire? Is there enough will underneath and behind the wheel of that 12 machine to get this one done? By the way, battle between Service and Ryan Sheld. Service clears by the 18, the 99, trying to throw it up into 5th, and he does. And Tyler Justice on a recovery mission. Just pitted. He's going to have the freshest tires in the field, but a lot of ground to make up. By the way, Brandon Burkhart, 49-second stop, I'd imagine. Speeding penalty there. Jesse Nakula, 51-second stop. Perfectly timed stop then for Gabriel Ellison, though. 17 laps to go. A 2.8 second advantage, Reese. Can he do it?
Yeah, gonna be, you know, I'm looking at the gap. It's not really cutting down that much. You know, that high side, we talked about it earlier, you know.
Oh, it's 2.6
getting that big run
now.
off the corner. Yeah, slowly, you know, 17 laps to go. Might be a close one here, Emerson. I mean, you talked about earlier, you know, catching's one thing, passing is another.
Sure thing. Absolutely. I think here Blake Kensley just got passed. Down to the 3rd position. And Paul Bliss had a moment. He went off the track. We'll see what happened to the 85. Sideways out of 4. And he takes a run to the grass.
I believe that was right in front of the leader, Emerson.
I believe
that was
so.
Ellison,
Yeah.
right behind him.
Yeah, merges right next to Adrian.
Luckily, everybody came away unscathed.
There's a gap now, 1.8 seconds between Gabriel Ellison and Dustin Montgomery. Adrian Schumacher has powered past of a 31 of Blake Hensley. And Scott Kalal trying to get a spot up inside the top 10 here, up to 9th. If he can get this pass done on Logan Truitt. Lapped car of Nakula is going to be in the way. Or I'm sorry, is going to be a factor. Kalal clears past Logan Truitt. Catching the wall there is the 66 of De La Rosa. Uh-oh, very tight. Kalal squeezes through.
Yet again, Emerson right around that 10th position. Hard race. We've seen it all night long.
And now raised the battle for the lead, 0.7 of a second and dwindling. Gabriel Ellison, try as he might. This one's going to be a hard one.
Absolutely.
5 lap older tires. Just how much do tires mean here at Kansas? We might just be about to find out. Quarter-second lead for Gabriel Ellison, last night's winner. Trying to fend off this series' point leader. Dustin Montgomery already has 2 wins to his name, and he dives it down to the inside, trying to go for number 3. Ellison fights back, but to no avail. Dustin Montgomery to the point. So Dustin Montgomery completed that run back up to the field, and he is now taking the lead and is long clear now of Ellison. Next is Adrian Schumacher, if he can make the pass on Gabriel Ellison. And Nathan De La Rosa trying to fend off trying to get a spot from teammate Logan Truitt for 9th.
Yeah, Truitt still with some of that damage. I went back and looked, and Emerson, that was actually from the very first caution, all the way back on lap 23. So, been dealing with that damage all race, but still P9, so looks like it's affecting him too significantly.
Well, there you go. That long eluded mystery answered for us. Sure, trying to fend off Nathan De La Rosa. Gabriel Ellison now under attack from Adrian Schumacher for 8th. I'm sorry, for 2nd. And Ellison doing this on 4 lap older tires than the 0 Schumacher.
Yeah, I believe Ellison was, if I'm not mistaken, around P4 before those pit cycles. So, currently sitting P2. And even though if he gets passed by Adrian, probably it's going to work out for him.
David Robertson around Nathan De La Rosa. Now Robertson wants a piece of Logan Truitt. But up front, for 2nd, here comes Schumacher. Schumacher to the inside. Up alongside the 36. 6 laps to go. And Schumacher wrapping that bottom lane. Will clear past the 36 of Gabriel Ellison. So Adrian Schumacher up to 2nd. Robertson up to 9th on Truitt, then De La Rosa. And what a race, Reese. It's taken a while to get to this point, but here we are now, final 5 laps. Dustin Montgomery, a near 3-second advantage over Adrian Schumacher and company. 15 on the lead lap, about to be 14.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a little bit of everything today. I mean, we saw 4 wide, 3 wide battles, you know, and it was the restarts and all those different strategies early were insane. Now, though, everything's starting to calm out. Everybody's really spaced out, and we have Montgomery, who's about 2.8 up on Adrian with 4 to go.
You're right, Reese. We had a grab bag of strategies today that made it really interesting. Unfortunately, I'm gonna say one of those cautions, and maybe the Phantom caution, might have
yeah,
really destroyed the race that strategy was playing a part of today. Tyler Justice hits the pit lane, by the way, in the 6 machine. And Tyler Justice short filled there, Reese. So that's a splash of fuel, and did not put in the appropriate amount of fuel. That is the 6th pit stop of the night for the 6 car.
Yeah, like I said earlier, we saw him hit the wall pretty hard in lap 35, and I believe it's probably been affecting his car all night.
2 laps to go, 3 miles to settle it. From Kansas Speedway, here in virtual Kansas City, Kansas, and it's been all Dustin Montgomery. You said it earlier, Reese, before the season started, he's led over 50% of the laps in the season. He's led well over 50% tonight, and he'll round his way out of turns 3 and 4 for the penultimate time tonight, and it'll be 1 lap to go here at Kansas for Dustin Montgomery and Phase 2 Chassis Works.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 2 races in a row. He's won. About to make it a 3rd for Dustin. I mean, just some complete domination. I mean, he's been, he started up there up front and worked his way back, and at the end, he found his way all the way back up here.
Complete and utter domination for the 12 of Dustin Montgomery, who will come off of turn 4 and become a 3-time winner in the Z Grills Xfinity Series. Battling to the line, Hensley outdoes Service for 4th.
What a race, Emerson. That was a good one.
Phenomenal show. And a deserving winner then for the 12 of Montgomery and Phase 2 Chassis Works. They did a brilliant job piecing together of a car and a strategy tonight. And it's Dustin Montgomery who will be going to EPI Victory Lane this evening here in Kansas. And trying to get a straight line burnout going on the apron here. Not getting a whole lot of smoke out of that car, but having fun and celebrating. The main thing for this 12 machine. And he'll blow it up. Well, let's
Leaving
go.
it all out there.
Absolutely. Left every bit of it out there. We'll go ahead and then bring on up our race winner tonight, driver of the number 12, our stage winner earlier on the evening, and now back to back race winner now on the Speed Racing Network Z Grills Series season, Dustin Montgomery. And Dustin, what a job it was for you tonight to get the victory here at Kansas. There was a lot of different strategy, and you fought with the misknowledge of the amount of tire sets you had tonight. You might have been on the back foot there at the stage victory. Some of the cautions maybe say fell in your favor, but this 12 car was fast all night tonight.
Yeah. I mean, we were worried about tires all night, but yeah, the cautions fell in a way that, there was no advantage for the guys that had an extra set. Had there been, a late race caution or something, I think we'd have been in trouble. But yeah, it worked out, and yeah, I'm happy to bring the Liquid Molly team another win.
Yeah, Liquid Molly and Phase 2 Chassis Works, they have been privy to to great results all season with Tyler Justice at Daytona, and now the last 3 weeks. What is it gonna take to stop you guys? I'm not sure you want to have an answer, but it has been utter domination out of the Phase 2 Chassis Works group.
Yeah, but things have went my way. Really, last week we had maybe the 3rd or 4th fastest car, and we were able to pull that one out with just the way the race played out. And then tonight, it's definitely a good possibility that a late race caution takes it all the way too. So just luck is a big part of this stuff, and then I just try to do everything I can do on my end take care of what I can take care of, and so far it's worked out.
It seemed like it so far, Dustin. Next up is the Milwaukee Mile. What say you about your chances then on the flat 1 mile up in Wisconsin?
Yeah, I think we'll be okay. I really love New Hampshire. I've never really been as good at Milwaukee as what I am at New Hampshire, but I know it'll be a lot of fun, and I look forward to racing these guys on a short track. I think short track you'll see kind of a mix up in the order of things, and I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, Dustin, congratulations on the race victory tonight. 3 in a row for the 12 car, the Liquid Moly Phase 2 Chassis Works machine. Once again, congratulations. Best luck to you next week at Milwaukee.
Hey, I appreciate it. And I appreciate the job you guys do. It's a lot of fun to watch the broadcast.
Absolutely. Appreciate the kind words as always then, Dustin. And that was our race winner this evening. Now, Reese, you will be standing by with our second place finisher tonight, driver of the number 0, I guess scored then as the 22, but has been trying to get number 0 all season. Comes up one spot short of the win tonight. Adrian Schumacher, headed your way, Reese.
Yeah, Adrian, he had a great run tonight. This is his 4th consecutive top 10 this season, finishing 5th, 7th, 3rd, and now 2nd. And Adrian, we saw a lot of great battles out there tonight, a lot of different strategies. Can you talk to me about, when middle of the race when we saw some of those 3-4 wide battles, how were you able to pick your way through those, and how were you able to come out on top here in 2nd place?
Well, definitely no lifting. There was no lifting going on. Just had to hold your lane. Everyone held their line pretty good from my knowledge. We were going like 4 wide too at one point. But it was awesome racing. A lot of battles, strategy. And
Yeah.
I was just right time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Me and Emerson couldn't believe it. We thought we were at a plate track out here tonight. We saw those 3-4 wide battles, and everybody, like you said, holding the great lines. And man, it was really exciting race during the middle portion of the race. Speaking of strategy, we saw tire sets came into play, especially with the long race here, 150 laps. What kind of different strategies were you playing with tonight?
Well, I was going to do something I never did before and pull an undercut, but that first caution ruined that, and I was just looking for the undercut because once you get in front of someone, you can pretty much defend on the outside.
Yeah, absolutely. Me and Emerson were talking about tonight how catching's one thing, but passing is complete another, especially these cars and how the high lane becomes really dominant. Yeah, well, even though the strategy didn't work out like you intended, P2 is nothing to be mad at, absolutely, and still a great race. Adrian, we're heading to the first short track of the season next week at the Milwaukee Mile. Got any idea how that one's gonna go?
Oh, I have no idea. I ran there once in the next gen, and it didn't really go so well.
Well, get some practice get to, and hopefully we'll be talking to you next week, same time.
Yep, thanks, guys.
And that was driver of the number 0, second place finisher tonight, Adrian Schumacher. And we do have a chance to talk to one other driver, of course. Talking to him for the 2nd night in a row, driver of the number 36, Gabriel Ellison. Gabriel, we can't stop talking to you. I guess we can't get enough of you, man. But another great run tonight here at Kansas. Tell us about it.
Yeah, that was a tough one. This car is a lot more of a handful than the truck we were driving last night. But it was a blast. Honestly, I really enjoyed it. I got myself buried where we had a lot of varying tire strategy, where there were kind of limited tire sets. Some of them early cautions, I ended up getting stuck behind a lot of people, but that second to last restart, I was able to get back up the 3rd, I think, before the yellow, which is where I ended up running. So once I got up there, I was able to keep the track position. It was pretty tough to pass once the tires wore, so I used sticking on that top line and let her eat.
It seemed like it today. We saw last night in the trucks, right? It was about 10 laps of bottom lane running, and then people migrated up to the top lane. It looked like it was a lot longer tonight. Was that a result of maybe you're forced to lift off in the corners more, and the two vehicles just drive differently, or what was there really help from the setup to be able to run a little bit better on the bottom?
Yeah, I honestly think it was the setup. I think with this particular setup with this car, you could go about 15, 16 laps before you start really losing time on the bottom. And I think that was just set up. This thing was a bit looser but once the tires got like 25 laps old or so, it was super tight on entry. So that's where it became difficult to pass if you didn't have a tire advantage.
Well, Gabriel, I hope you're not. Oh, I wow, I'm tripping over my words. I hope you got all you wanted out of Kansas. You got yourself a win last night, a podium tonight. Next up is Milwaukee. What do you feel about your chances of getting it done in that number 36 for Jonathan Bayer Racing next week?
Yeah, Milwaukee's a tough one. I've only ran there. I think I've only raced there one time. It's been a while, so I have to do some practice. But it's a super unique track. But I usually do pretty solid on short tracks like that. So we'll see what happens.
Well, there you are, third place finisher Gabriel Ellison. Talking to him 2 nights in a row, man. Congratulations on the podium tonight, and best luck to you at Milwaukee.
Thanks, guys.
And that was our podium finishers on the evening tonight, Reese. We do have to mention the rest of our race finishers tonight, and our race results will be appearing on the screen here just a moment. And we're able to run through those bad boys, and so we'll get to it. Top of the results tab, of course, it is Dustin Montgomery with the victory tonight in that number 12 machine. To his outside is finishing the second position, the number 22 of Adrian Schumacher. The 36 of Gabriel Ellison finishes in third. Blake Hensley out of JBR finishes in fourth. And Max Service able to snag himself a top 5 there for Tank Racing. Sixth is the 99 of Scotty Ryan. Drew Ballesteros finishes 7th. Scott Kalal 8th. David Robertson 9th. And Logan Truitt rounds out the top 10. Reese, take us to the next 10.
Yeah, we got a 66 of Nathan De La Rosa coming in P11. JB finished P12. Kyle Ryan, last one lead lap, P13. Then we got Jackson Wade 14th. Paul Bliss rounds out the top 15 with Sean Paul in 16th. Bobby Anderson, tough break for him, but come away with a P17 finish. Kyler Justice finished P18 with a late race pit stop. Burkhart with 19th. Nikula 20th. Cortez with a shortened race that he did not need nor want. It certainly finished at 21st. Clinton got in a couple wrecks tonight, finished 22nd, and that rounds up your top 22.
The 22 drivers who entered into tonight's race, Heartbreakers Row for Cortez and Swenson tonight. But race, it was a fun race overall, and I was very glad to have you join me along for the call this evening. Reese, your first time calling an iRacing race. What do you make of it in your time here in the Speed Racing Network Z Grill Series booth?
Yeah, it was fun. But definitely have to do it again. I'll have to see what work wise, what nights I can get off, and what nights I can sneak in here. But had a lot of blasts. I mean, for first time, I don't think I did it that bad. It felt pretty fun and fine. Tell you what though, Emerson, a lot of guys were talking about, both Adrian and Ellison talking about Milwaukee Mile. Both, it's definitely a new foreign track for a lot of drivers. It's gonna be really interesting next week. See how that race plays out.
Absolutely. Tonight here at Kansas, very much a track type that we're used to the amount it has. Milwaukee Mile, first of all, it's a track type we don't see all that much of. We only have 2, flat 1 mile ovals on the NASCAR circuit when you think of New Hampshire and Phoenix. They bring in Milwaukee Mile, and it's a track that hasn't been ran in so long. A very old scan of it is here on iRacing. Very excited to see the uniqueness of the track, maybe the age of the surface playing a factor, but Milwaukee is going to be a very intriguing night. We have a lot of fast guys here. Figure they all have a shot next week at Milwaukee. Of course, we got to give a shout out to our partners here at Speed Racing Network. A huge shout out to all of our series partners, Fiverr, Glitch, and Z Grills, of course. Admin Box has been on your screen most of the night tonight. Admin Box, of course, is the that logo up in the top right corner. And Admin Box, use code SRN-box, that is BOXX, for 10% off of your admin box purchases. A shout out to Butt Kicker, of course, our commercial sponsor for the series here for Speed Racing Network. EPI, of course, presenting victory lane celebrations and select blinds, doing our incident replays all throughout the season. Reese, it was a fun night. Any final thoughts you want to leave the viewers with tonight after a long one, a clean one here at Kansas?
Yeah, definitely really good racing. You know, we saw, like we said multiple times, 3-4 wide. You know, I don't think anybody expected seeing that tonight. And so hats off to all the drivers for putting on a show, and can't wait to see what happens next week.
Can't wait to see what happens next week. I think that's a perfect closing statement. Then that'll do it from Kansas Speedway. Thank you all for tuning in and joining us for tonight's action, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. For all at Speed Racing Network, and Reese Schaefer alongside myself, Emerson Arden, in the booth this evening. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next week when Speed Racing Network takes to the Milwaukee Mile.